Hey guys, I'm trying something new today. I'm going to take a look at the new Beauty and the Beast trailer that Disney has just released, and I'm going to break it down for you guys. So it starts off with this rolling shot of the hills, which is very reminiscent of the later Harry Potter movies. And then we see the Disney Island, which is also the castle from the story, which looks very much like Hogwarts Castle. The interior design sort of reminds me of Mystic Manor ride from Disneyland. The painting, if you didn't realise already, is the prince in the story. I hope you know the story already, guys. If not, just watch the cartoon. So the prince is the beast, and so the painting is of the prince, obviously, as a younger self. It's also a kind of reference to other paintings we see in other movies, such as in Frozen. And then we see the village where Belle lives, which clearly looks like Hogsmeade from Harry Potter. And then this character is Maurice, who's Belle's dad, played by Kevin Kline. And it's clearly the shadow of the beast hanging over him there. And this is the first shot we see of Emma Watson. I mean, notice how she's holding the cane rather like she holds the wand in the Harry Potter movies. It's also a reference to the Noah's Ark movie that she was in. And then we see her dad in prison. The prison gates, to me, look a bit like the ones that were used in the Pirates films. And then we see this, which is our first shot of Gaston from the back. This is our first full face shot of Belle, played by Emma Watson. And then we see the Beast, played by Dan Stevens. It's clearly been made in the same way that Caesar from Planet of the Apes is made, in the way that the actor has dots on their face and they act in a studio and the CGI is added on afterwards. It doesn't look like makeup to me. But the Beast is clearly modelled on a mixture between Chewbacca, the lion from the Narnia films, and maybe Caesar from Planet of the Apes. So and then we see Belle in a very, very long tower, which is clearly a reference to Rapunzel. It could also be a reference to Shrek or any other fairy tale where a princess gets locked in a tower. So this is the first shot we see of Lumiere, voiced by Ewan McGregor. And then we see Cogsworth, voiced by Ian McKellen. And this is another shot we see of Belle. Notice how warm and friendly the lighting on her face seems. It clearly shows that Disney is trying to also convey that this is a warm, friendly family film, not just a dark horror film that first appeared like in the trailer. Although it's not quite as friendly as the cartoon version. Chip is played by a guy called Nathan Mack. Then we see this scene where Belle clearly seems to be fighting a bunch of wolves. I don't really remember this from the cartoon films. I don't know if this has been added in or not. It's been a while since I've seen the cartoon itself, so maybe it has been added in. And then we see the beast come in and warn all the wolves off. It's clearly a bit of a reference to the King Kong movies, in the way King Kong warns off a load of dinosaurs. So the reference to the rose, if you don't know, if all the rose petals fall down, it means he becomes the beast forever. And then we see the angry mob, which sort of reminded me of the Do You Hear the People Sing scenes from Les Mis. And this shot of Belle playing with a white horse and white snow clearly represents some kind of innocence and love. I don't really know what the horse represents because I'm not sure if the horse was in the original cartoon movies. And then we see our first shot of Gaston, played by Luke Evans. He looks almost exactly like the cartoon version, just a little bit more weathered on the costume. There's then a few more action shots of the mob storming the castle. Clearly a lot of CGI in this film. It's going to be one of those kind of big CGI scenes. And then see this shot, which is clearly a reference to The Sound of Music. There is going to be music in it. I know that Emma Watson can sing. I'm not sure if she'll be singing in the movie. But I heard there's going to be the original music in it. This shot's clearly taken straight from the cartoon trailer itself. Then we see the petals falling, again a reference to the storyline of the movie. So I think the trailer looks really good for a start. I think it has a risk of being too dark, and it has a risk of being too CGI effectsy. But if it's got the same musicality as the original, it should be very good. Let me know if you like this type of video and you want to see more of it. If you don't, let me know as well. And make sure you hit subscribe and check out my other videos. Thanks guys. I still hear